it's been almost 8 months that a fire has been burning inside the Woodmaster 4400. But the other day, I let that fire go out. And now it's time to clean it out and get it ready to sit for the summer until this fall we're ready to fire it back up. So usually what happens this time of year, usually around end of May, that's when I usually let the wood boiler go out. I shut her down. This year it was getting a little warm, and you know, the one day I noticed there wasn't very much wood left in there, so I just decided that would be the day that I just let everything keep burning out, smoldering down, and turns out now in a few days we're actually supposed to have an overnight low of like 39, so yeah, good timing. But that's just the way it goes. But sooner or later, that's usually what I do. Is end of May, we started everything up the end of September, and my calculations on the wall here, they were slightly thrown off just in this last month or so because I was bringing in a lot of my odds and end chunks that didn't really stack up too good to measure. And the other problem I had was my rack ended up breaking. So, but what I calculated out roughly, approximately this year, I burned 11 cords, full cords of wood. That was starting September 27th last year, and now ending on May 24th of 2021. So not too bad. I mean, yes, it was a lot of wood, but I burned it. I set the thermostat in the house at 74 degrees, run that all day, all night. We went through a couple polar vortexes, had a couple cold spells, and I also heat my hot water with this when it runs. So overall, it wasn't too bad. 11 cords, that's usually what I average, I think, is around 10, 12. So 11 was right there in the middle. So let me show you quick what I've done so far, and then I'll go through what I'm going to be doing right now to finalize the shutdown of the boiler. All right, so when the temperature drops, when the water inside cools down enough, this will actually shut the blower off, so it will no longer come on. And that's what had happened, is it had gone down below, I believe it's 140. So the blower was off, so that's when I then, down in the back there, I just flipped the switch and shut it all down. That shuts the system off, shuts the pump off. And then the first thing I did was I filled up the water jacket inside. So I put a hose up there and filled that up until water was coming out. That way I know when the water jacket is full, there's nothing inside it. There's no metal, no parts of the inside water jacket being exposed to the air. The next thing I did was I went up to the top and put the cap on the chimney. And good thing I did, because last night and now today we received a lot of rain. So all right, let's take a look. Oh, one other thing. Before I begin the clean out, so what I usually do is I take this little handle here, and you can turn this and pull it all the way out, and then you can just kind of scrape off any buildup that's on this damper rod, and you can see there little bits coming off. So I give that a little work over just to knock off anything that's built up on that rod. And then we open up the door. And I can actually feel a little heat still coming out of here. The ashes are still a little hot. So you'll see here, now what I do is I just scrape this stuff off loosely, and then I'll clean all this out and vacuum it. But I don't grind or scrape real heavy down because this is actually the coating, the original coating. I did just notice here, the thing I'm going to need to replace my rope around the door. Looks like right there it's wore down a little bit. So that'll probably be a project for this fall, right before I start it up. Replace that rope around the door. So, all right, so let's get cleaning some of this stuff out. So there's a nice little cross breeze blowing here, so I'm just letting that clear out a little bit because it does get a little, that real fine ash kind of spreads around a little bit too much. But the one thing is I don't climb into the boiler and like scrape everything down real good. I'm not sure if it's really needed because, like I said, that coating in there is still on there. I mean, you know, the other thing is in 3.5, 4 months, I'm just going to fire it up again. So I don't know how much that makes a difference. I just clean it out like this as best I can, shut the door, seal it up, and let her sit. All right, just a quick update on the tractor. Last week on the live stream, I did unbox and reveal that Ken from down at Anubis Silo and Equipment, where I bought my tractor from, he had sent me a new light up here, a new blinker, because I had broke that off hitting a tree. So he sent me a new one, and he suggested I could mount the lights down here. There's a hole in the fender where you can mount these blinkers. But what I did is I decided to keep it high up there because with that carryall and the toolboxes, if it would be on the blinker or if it would be on the fender, you wouldn't be able to see the blinker. So again, a big shout out and a big thanks to Ken Anubis down at Anubis Silo and Equipment. Greatly appreciate you sending me that light. I was long overdue to replace it, but yeah, like I said, I think I am going to keep it up high instead of on the fender, just because on the fender I think it might be a little bit too low. But greatly appreciate that, and it's installed and working great. All right, so let's give the boiler a look over here. I got it all cleaned up, I think pretty much as good as I'm going to be able to get it. All right, so here we are inside the boiler now. And the one thing with this design of this boiler is that it's got a round firebox here. So there's no like seams and no right angles or anything like that to clean up and grind off. So I don't know, when I bought this, the dealer I bought this from, he told me the main area of focus should always be back there on the bottom where that weld meets, and then the same on the front up here. But this is about as good as I'm going to get this. It's like I said, I could go down there and chisel away at that and try to get it to break off, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it, and I don't know if it's needed. I've been doing this like this way now for 8 years plus, and haven't had any issues yet, knock on wood. But yeah, there's everything. So like, see this side right here, I mean, you know, that's all like the original coating. Here's this side. The door cleaned up, I think, as good as it's going to get. So I think we're set. I think we can close the door, and another burning season comes to an end with the Woodmaster 4400. So you saw in the beginning of this video, the water is in the pond is full, the boiler shut down, so I think summer is here. And this weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend, so hopefully you'll kick off the holiday weekend tomorrow night on the Back 40 live stream at 8 p.m. Central. Hopefully we'll see all you woodhounds there. It's a pretty good time. It's a good way to kick off a weekend, especially a long weekend. So like I said, 11 cords roughly put through the boiler this year. Everything now is shut down, probably until end of September, beginning of October. And now I'm going to actually fill in the woodshed with a little more wood, get things prepped up, ready for this fall. But the first step in getting ready for the next season of burning is done. And that is cleaning up and shutting down the boiler. So with that, hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, be cool.